And that is The Only Thing I Will Ever Learn How to Play on Guitar by Devin Wood. Thanks for watching. No, in all seriousness though, I bought this guitar because I wanted to teach myself how to play guitar. And but then I realized my fingers are just too fat, honestly. I mean, granted, this is a small guitar. Like, this is like a beginner's practice guitar or whatever. But yeah, it's my fingers are literally just too fat to play any chords with. So this is about the extent of my guitar skills for history. So, that didn't even sound good. Okay, well, anyway, enough of me trying to be a terrible musician. So for today's video, I want to talk about why I think people should be a lot more focused on collaboration rather than competition. Like, bro, are you walking around on moon shoes? You know what, though? It's okay, because I'm pretty loud myself, and I don't get any complaints, so I guess I just gotta live with it. Awesome Godfather, you know the vibes. Look, I don't make the muds, okay? I just write what's on them and spend the money. Oh, hey guys, it's Editor Dev checking in again. So on today's episode of I Realized I F***ed Something Up Again. So it was incredibly windy on this day. I guess Mother Nature must have just been feeling some type of way because it was like super windy out. It was like a mini hurricane out there, and as you can tell in a second, the next like minute or so, the audio is just wrecked basically from the wind. Although it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but it's pretty bad. So bear with me. I'm getting better and better, I swear. But had to just check in and let you guys know about that. So anyway, yeah, let me get back to the video. So let me preface the rest of this video by saying that I don't think that competition is inherently a bad thing. In fact, I think it's great if it's healthy competition. So for example, you know, your colleagues or coworkers, maybe your peers, your friends, your family, people in the same field, whatever the case is, it's people that you know and you work with and alongside of, and you compete in the sense that, you know, you're always striving to do better, and maybe this person motivates you. That's fantastic. But the type of competition that I'm talking about is the type where we get way too concerned solely with being better than somebody else rather than working on bettering ourselves. If the only way that you can assign a value to the work that you do or your level of success is based on how much better you think you're doing than other people, then that's just a problem. You're never going to really feel good, because even if you feel like you are doing well, you're not building relationships, you're not collaborating, you're not really feeding your creativity. It's more so just doing it for the sake of doing it and having that lone wolf mentality. And I don't know, maybe for some people that does work, but for somebody like me, I could never pull that off. It's especially interesting to me that people have to be so competitive, because 9 out of 10 times, you know, it's really not necessary. I understand that like any field is competitive, right? You've always heard that, oh, that's a very competitive field. That may be the case, but just because something is competitive does not mean that there's plenty of space for enough people to succeed in that area. I think it's just human nature and maybe our insecurities that allow us to feel this way. But you ever notice that a lot of times when we really put a lot into something, right, like if it's our career or our passion or something we're really good at, and then all of a sudden we see someone else start doing it, why is it that we get so bothered by that? And I've even been guilty of it myself. Like, I remember back in the day when I was doing like the comedy skits on Instagram, and I would see somebody post a funny video or a skit, and immediately I would be like, oh, so this person thinks they're a skit maker now, right? Oh, they think they're a funny person. And when I look at it, I'm like, first of all, dude, you're not the first person to do this, you're not the last person to do this, and you're far from the only person to do this. So with that being said, who cares, right? Instead of looking at this person and saying, oh, I hope that they don't succeed, or that, you know, they're not as good as me, or whatever the case is, it's so much better to look at them and say, hey, this is a new person in my area, someone I could potentially work with, teach, learn from, and things like that. That's the way that I find value in collaboration. I'm just speaking from experience when I say these things, because like I said, I used to have that mindset. I used to be very competitive and very insecure, and I would always say to myself, as soon as I saw someone trying to do anything on social media that I knew personally, I would say, what, you know, this person thinks they're the next this or the next that, or they think they could do it better than me. When in reality, this person's probably just trying to start something and pursue something the same way that I am, and the same way that thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of other people are. And I'm glad that I came to that realization a long time ago, because since then, and since I've shifted my mindset to trying to be more of a collaborative person, trying more to work with people, learn from people, and reach out to people who are doing the same thing as me, I have found far more success for myself personally with everything that I've been working on, be it YouTube or videography or whatever the case is. I have learned so much from people who have way less experience than me and way more experience than me, and it just goes to show it, what you can teach someone, the value that you provide has a lot more to do with your character and your mindset than it does with just solely your abilities in a particular subject. This building right back here, it's abandoned. It's a huge, massive, actually series of buildings all in this area, and they've been abandoned. They were supposed to become like a Legoland, like a Nickelodeon studio thing, and a bunch of other stuff, but for now they're just pretty and abandoned. I've been walking around for like the last 20 minutes just trying to find a spot where the wind isn't so crazy, but I just can't. Today, Mother Nature just doesn't want me to be great, so I'm just gonna go finish the rest of this video at home. So like I was saying before, did the wind follow me in here? Nah, I'm just kidding. It's just the fan. Anyway, let me finish up this video for real. The main point that I'm trying to make is the fact that I really don't believe you can have long-term success completely alone. Like, if you feel as if you only work alone, you never work with other people or collaborate on things, or you've never been part of a team, and you think that you can maintain that for a long period of time, I just think that that's so incredibly difficult and wildly unlikely to do. Not to mention far more difficult when you could work with other people, exchange ideas, exchange gear maybe, or resources. Like, again, I talk about this all the time on the channel, but just networking. And I always say you're as strong as your network is. And for me, my network has been just growing and growing and growing. And because of that, my videos are getting better, my life is improving. There are just so many more opportunities that are opening up to me because I chose to reach out to people and collaborate. I also think a lot of times people can get intimidated because, people will say to me like, well, how do you go about that? And I think it's really this easy, right? So if I'm a YouTuber or if I'm a videographer or whatever, and I see someone that I know or that I follow posting that they want to start a YouTube channel, or that they have a YouTube channel, or that they do videography or whatever, I literally will just DM them and say, hey, I saw that you have a YouTube channel, let's link up sometime and talk about ideas or film a video or something like that. That's it. It's that simple. All it takes is for one person to reach out and say, hey, I saw that you're doing something I'm doing, let's get together and let's get some ideas going. And I know for a fact I have a lot of good ideas, and I know that storytelling really is, one of my better qualities. But I'm not perfect. I never will be, and I never want to be. And I always love learning from people, interacting with people, exchanging ideas. There's been some times where I'll, just be sitting in my bed completely alone and I'll come up with an amazing idea. And there's other times where I'm with a group of people who are all doing, things similar to what I'm doing. And then we all talk about stuff and it bounces back and forth, and all of a sudden we have this amazing idea that we all created together. And I find both of them equally exciting and equally important. Like I said, I don't really believe in the whole self-made thing, to be completely honest with you. I think everybody has needed help from someone somewhere along the way. And again, the more you collaborate, the more resources you have, the faster, the better that you can get to where you're trying to go. I like to think of it from a consumer standpoint as well, right? I always use this example. So let's say you have two favorite music artists, right? And they end up making a song together. You are significantly more likely to tune into that because it's two people who you like and enjoy, as individuals, collaborating on content together. And who wouldn't want that? It's the same concept as if your two favorite actors are in a movie together, or your two favorite YouTubers are doing a video together. Whenever you see people that you already enjoy, doing standalone things, and then they get together and they work, and you see how they work off of each other and the kind of magic that they can make when they get together, as a consumer, what's better than that? Not to mention, by collaborating, if you are someone who's doing something along the lines of like entertainment, so maybe music or acting or YouTube or whatever it is, when you collaborate with other like-minded individuals, you're only exposing yourself to a greater audience. So again, you get the benefit of working with that person, exchanging ideas, bettering yourself, learning new things, and exposing yourself to a new audience, and hopefully building, a relationship with these people that you can continue to do things like that in the future. I mean, if you really watch YouTube, I know I watch it a lot, but if you watch it even somewhat regularly, we all have some favorite YouTubers, right? Favorite vloggers or favorite, beauty YouTubers or whatever you're watching. And if you notice, a lot of those communities, they're very tight, they're very close-knit, and a lot of those creators work with each other frequently. One of the biggest spaces that I enjoy watching a lot is tech. So I watch people like Marques Brownlee, Your Average Consumer, Jonathan Morrison, people like that, and I absolutely love when they do videos together. Like, I love watching all of their individual content, but when they do videos together, it's just like that extra level of excitement for me, because I'm like, these are 2 or 3 or 4 or however many amazing creators that I already enjoy watching, and then they're gonna get together, and then watching them, like I said, work off of each other and come up with ideas. It's just better in my opinion. So without trying to rant on too much for this video, that's basically the point that I'm trying to make, is that, again, I think healthy competition is incredible. It helps you, it pushes you and motivates you to become better, because you see other people who you collaborate with and you work with and you associate with, or your friends or whoever, you see them doing good things and you appreciate that for them, and then it motivates you to go out and do good things for yourself, right? Rather than being competitive and being selfish and insecure and feeling as if the only way that you can measure your own success is by looking at somebody else and saying, well, they're not as good as me, so now I'm better. I don't know. I just don't think that mindset works out very well, to be honest with you. But hey, who am I? Just a guy with a camera. Anyways, that's all for this week. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.